Hello everyone, it's Chris with XFAT Theory. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Appreciate you being here. I think I'm going to end up doing two separate videos today. One of them's going to be kind of a personal update and what's going on and where I'm at. And the other one I'm going to talk about GP Transco in particular. This one's going to be my personal update, and as I stated in my last video, wow. June and July really kind of turned things upside down. Had a pretty good stay in the hospital. Came out of the hospital, took my week of home time. Lost my son-in-law. Stayed another week to help take care of that. And then finally got back to work here in the middle of July. So technically, I was off for just over a month without making any paychecks and putting out a little bit of money. I actually ended up selling off a little bit of my stock and withdrew $5,000 from my stock portfolio to make sure that I had everything covered. And I did. I made it through. That's one of the important things I've been trying to tell people. You really kind of need, even in trucking, just in life in general, you really need to have money set back for emergencies. Most of the experts will suggest that you have at least 3 months worth of bills, bill money, set back into savings just for emergencies. I wholeheartedly believe that and think that's a fantastic idea. If you can afford it, I'd even go as high as 5 months. That way, if you get into any kind of extended situation or have to come out of pocket for unexpected expenses in the thousands of dollars, you're not crippled, financially. So I highly recommend that. And because I did have a good chunk of money set back, it was a simple matter of me moving some of it from my stock portfolio into my bank account so that I could make sure I had everything covered. So there's that. Being out for 30 plus days, when I came back to my company, found out I still had a job, which was nice. So I didn't have to change companies or anything like that. I did have to go through a drug test, which is normal. That's expected after being off that long, which I, of course, had no issues with that. Shoot, I don't even really drink, more or less do any kind of drugs. I mean, yeah, the VA's loaded me up with all kinds of stuff for my medical issues, blood pressure and all that, but yeah, I don't do any kind of drugs or alcohol. I might drink like 6-7 beers in a year. I might have a beer with dinner. That's about it. I mean, that's on rare occasion. I gave it up. I haven't really been drinking since 2006. I just kind of cut it off, and that was it. So of course, passing a drug test was not even a thought for me. No big deal. Anyway, they got me back on the road. I left out of Joliet and ran over to Indiana. They actually brought a load there to Joliet that was coming this way anyway. So I picked it up there at our HQ, took it over to Indiana, delivered it the next day, picked up another load, and it's going down to Georgia. So got on the road, got all the way down here, about an hour away from my delivery, and to keep my cycle straight and to get back onto my regular routine. Even though I'd only drove a couple of days, I went ahead and took my 34-hour reset to keep my normal schedule of being resetting over the weekend. So I'll make my delivery Monday morning, and that'll kind of kick off next week. And hopefully, starting next week, my drive miles and all that will be back up to normal. As far as the expat theory part, tell you what, there's a gentleman I'm kind of following. He's not American. I haven't dug deep into find out where he's from, but he's European of some sort and has a little bit of an accent. But he's hanging out over in Cambodia, and I've been watching some of his videos. And he's been showing, some of the day trips that he makes into the city, into Phnom Penh, and some of his accommodations and things like that. And I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to getting over there. It's kind of pushing Phnom Penh even higher in my standings and my thought process. It really looks nice. It really looks like a good place for me. The Philippines are still in the running, mostly because I know the people. I know that the people are amazing. I don't know. I'm still torn, but Cambodia is still leading the way. It still looks great, and the capital city there looks like it's going to have everything that I'm looking for. And there's a particular district called BKK1 that seems to be the most popular with expats, and it has a lot of the amenities that foreigners would be looking for. Some of our restaurants and things that we're familiar with. Some of the stores and shopping that we're familiar with. Some of the apartments and everything are more American style than Asian style. So the decor, the layouts, the showers, toilets, all that, it's more of what a foreigner would be looking for. So a lot of the expats that go to Phnom Penh kind of tend to gravitate around BKK1. And, it's a smaller district within the city, but everything's right there. You can get everything and anything that you need. And you might even bump into some other foreigners and, be able to strike up a conversation, sit down and have coffee together. And, if nobody's in a big rush, you might bump into them at the marketplace and just decide to walk together while you're shopping in the market, things like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. Everything's still on track. This year, I don't know if I'm going to hit my target at the end of the year, especially because I got to make up what I took out. So on the financial end, I'm holding my breath a little bit to see if I can make it. The trucking industry is struggling a little bit. The profitability on the loads is down. And there are certain loads that my company won't take because it's not enough profit for them. So keeping my miles up and not shutting down too much for any ridiculous reasons. Hopefully, knock on wood, no breakdowns and things like that. And keep myself rolling as much as possible and tighten up the belt a little bit to try and sock away money into savings. And something that didn't help, I kind of did something I didn't really need to do, but I kind of wanted to do. I traded off my car. I had the little Mazda CX-3 in that gray, and it was nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's just really kind of small. And when I was having to travel around back and forth, there were times when I wanted to pull over and get some rest in like a rest area, and the space inside the little car was just not there. It's just too small. And trying to get everything, if I were to like try to take everything out of my truck and pack it into my car, it was just really tight trying to get everything in there. So I traded off my little car and I got a Ford Explorer ST, some special model. It does come with a bigger engine, tow package, and it's a 2020. It's got all kinds of bells and whistles. I'll try to throw a picture of it up here or somewhere. It's a really, really, really nice vehicle. Much nicer than anything I'm used to. I actually drove it around on my way back. I pulled over into rest area and actually had like an air mattress in the back, and slept almost like I was sleeping in a regular bed. That makes traveling around a lot easier. And if I actually had to come out of my truck, because I wasn't sure coming back to GP whether or not I still had a job, so there was a chance I was going to have to take everything out of the truck and load it into my personal vehicle. I would have had plenty of room. This vehicle's got plenty of space, seats all fold down, and it can carry a lot of stuff. And it is nicer. I have to admit, it is much nicer, and it's much nicer to drive. But it's way more expensive. A little bit more than double on the price. So there's more money coming out per month. But I made that decision before everything happened, with my son-in-law passing and coming out of pocket with that, and having that extended time, and being worried about whether I had a job, all that. I was really kind of sweating bullets there for a little bit about, oh man, I just went and bought a much more expensive car, and I don't even know if I have a job, and I just spent a bunch of money, and I was a little nervous there for a minute, but I think it'll all work out in the end. Things will straighten out, and I'll start getting my paychecks together again, and be able to take care of the bills and still put money into savings. I'm still saving a lot of money by living in the truck, so that affords me to put a lot more into savings than the average person. And I'll get there. I'm confident that my determination to hit my target is there. And I'm making some good strides in my stock market as well. I've made some decent purchases. I've made some decent sales. And for the beginning part of the time there, during the learning curve and all, I actually went in the hole. But that's turned around. And I've mentioned this in other videos. I was confident that I would make all that money back. Well, I have. I've made it back. So now I'm to the good now. And every month I get more money coming in from my stock market. So that's only just going to continue to get better. And the more money I can put into it, the more I'll get back. So it'll continue to grow as well. I think that's about it. My buddy P is in the United States, which is kind of cool. I think she's over in New York. I would have loved the opportunity to, run over and see her, but timing she got here after I returned to work, and I got to get back to work, so I can't take the time off. I would have loved to run up to New York and surprise her and met up with her somewhere, but unfortunately I'm unable to do that. My other friends over, they were traveling in Thailand. I think they went back to the Philippines, but they got married. So congratulations, Fred and Marla, on their marriage. Very happy about that, and they're good people. Tell you, I've been fortunate. You know, I've met some really good people. You know, especially I would have never thought using YouTube that I would have meet good people and make friends with good people. And I was just, you know, recording videos for, you know, posterity and be able to look back and say, hey, this is where I started and this is where I ended up. I didn't realize my journey was going to actually lead me to really cool people like this. So very happy to know them and be friends with them. I guess that's about it for the update for what's going on personally. Um, Gonna start putting the nose to the grindstone, getting as many miles as I can, get as big paychecks as I can, get back on plan. That's it. So, all right, guys, if you have any questions or you know anybody that would like this content, you know, share it to them. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you want to. And we'll see you guys in the next video.